show for the morning. We're talking to Alana McLaughlin, my granddaughter, who has been giving us some information about the attack on America, September the 11th, 2001. And now we would like to have Alana to talk to us about some of her activities dealing with her efforts to make people more aware of bullying. And so, Alana, let's talk this morning to the audience. And I think most of them appreciated the information that you gave us about the attack on America. But I think that there's a topic that you've been more concerned about in a real sense than the attack on America, even though that was one of your favorite topics. Let's talk about bullying, you and the little dog that you have there with you today. Why don't you introduce the dog to...
Well, this is Miss Pumpkins. Now, she really, all the kids that get bullied, people think they're crazy because they come home crying with no explanation of black eyes, and as people don't really take that seriously enough because I'm sure a big percentage of kids in the whole world get bullied. I've seen kids in my school get pushed around, thrown things out, getting into fights. I've seen kids walk home crying. I've seen kids, when a teacher comes by, they're like, oh, I didn't do anything. She fell and hit her head. Well, the thing is, you really shouldn't bully anybody because, as most people in schools say, treat others how you want to be treated. When they say the Pledge of Allegiance, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, they don't realize what they're saying. They just say it to get it over with. They don't realize what they're saying. You have to really put effort into the meaning of that. The meaning is to be nice to each other, like what Martin Luther King said. Be nice to each other, love each other. And then we're not fulfilling his dream if we don't do exactly that. Because he said, I have a dream that we would live together in peace and love each other and hug each other. And I see kids going around shooting people, shooting their own kind, instead of loving them. And I'm sure if Martin Luther King was here right now, he would frown down on this. He would not be happy about this because he wants us to live in peace. And he wants us to live in peace. He wants us to stop bullying. Now, bullying can be from cyberbullying to just going to school.
What do you mean when you say cyberbullying, Alana? Give us some examples.
Most teens, they're on the computers typing. Well, when they get on Facebook or MySpace or Twitter, people can leave hateful comments on them because there are no word restrictions on Facebook, so you can cuss about them, you can say nasty words about them. Like, for instance, Megan Myers, she got cyberbullied to the point where she went to her closet and she hung herself. Oh. Because it was too overwhelming for her, and it wouldn't stop for her. It was a bad case for her. But most kids, they can prevent cyberbullying, but they just choose not to because they want to see them cry. They enjoy their pain. They want to be there. They want to be ha ha ha. They want to sit there and they want to make them cry. For instance, I've been bullied, and I still am, for being smart, for always wanting to help somebody and I've seen kids slack off to prevent themselves from being bullied. I've seen them not do their tests, throw away their homework, just to look cool in front of their friends so they don't get bullied, so that nobody makes fun of them. Well, you shouldn't do that. Just ignore them. Put them behind. You don't need them. Don't let them shake your confidence because if you have faith in yourself, that's the only thing that counts.
I understand, Lana, that you somehow got involved with other children your age in school, and you've established what you call a bullying club. Explain exactly what is that and how does that work?
Well, I have started an anti-bullying campaign, which in the founder's vision, my vision is to go there and tell the Board of Education and the Metropolitan School System to go down there and tell them that we need these bullies out of our school. No more second chances, no more all of this, because we've had them in our schools and they are putting down the population of our schools. Nowadays, kids are going to more private schools because they're getting bullied to the point where they transfer schools, and that is bringing down our population, and that is bringing down our school system, and that is bringing down our school funds. So I'm thinking just get these kids out of here, and it will be much smoother without them there, because there would be more learning, we would be more educated, more of us would get into better colleges like Yale, Juilliard, Harvard. So just because we can't focus with those bullies always on our tails, throwing us down, putting us down. We don't need that. So I want the board to get those bullies and look them in the eye and say, you are going to alternative school, because we do not need your selfishness and your childness in our schools. And I fully believe we do not need that. So I want to go down there, and it only starts with one person, to 10, to 1,000, to 100.
You know, you had a list, Alana, that you were typing out in reference to some of your bullying activities. And so why don't you make some statements in reference to that list?
Well, I really watch the news very often. I see these kids get bullied, get raped in school, shot in school, commit suicide in school, all because of one word: bullying. Now, we do not need to die in that way, knowing that somebody bullied us to the point where we would kill ourselves. We don't need to die that way. We need to die and go up to heaven and say, God, I've lived my life and I'm proud of that, and I'm ready to come to your holy heaven. We do not need to finish half of our lives and go down there and say, I bullied them and I bullied them and I didn't do jack with my life. We need to all do something with our lives. We need a good career choice. We need to all be mechanics, or we can go teach at Harvard. And we need to do something that we would appreciate with our lives, instead of sitting at home saying, I bullied her, and I bullied her, and I never did nothing with my life because nobody wanted to bully in their school system.
You think that many young people like yourself are surrounded by these individuals you classify as bully? I mean, do you see them often yourself?
I see them every day. Every day I go to school, I look down there and I see these kids cry, and I see them go down. So I walk up to them and I take them by the hand and I say, child, don't you cry, because don't you let them shake your confidence, because you are beautiful in God's eyes and you always will be. So don't let those hate words put you down, because we know and you know that you are beautiful just the way you are. So don't change for nobody.
And so you feel that they single people out because of their different hairstyles and other things like that? What?
I think kids who go emo or go goth, and people say that you're ugly, and I've seen these girls, I've seen people call a girl ugly, and then she spends hours at home trying to put on makeup. I've seen people call these girls sluts because she has a baby at age 14. Nobody knows that she was raped. Nobody ever thinks of looking into their lives. They just put a stamp on them and call them whatever they think. But they know that it isn't the truth, but they just bother to call them that just for their own benefit, just to make them cry.
And so bullying, you're saying, is a real serious problem, and not only in your school, but you've all across the country.
Very.
And that we ought to be concerned about it as administrators and principals and other folks. Is that? And you think that a lot of folks, 8 and 9 years old, you're 9 now. You were 8 the first time you came to us. But you think that persons 9 years old are as much aware of bullying as you are today, Alana?
No, I've seen bullies go around there saying, I ain't a bully, I'm not a bully. But they need to take a good look in the mirror and say, and they need to admit to that, because you can't try to change somebody else.
Thank you, Alana, and let me thank you for coming by and giving us that information. Let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you, and
Good morning.